This is going to be still more on the book From Here to Eternity. Loneliness. The loneliness of existence. 8 billion people on the planet, and they're all lonely. Ah, look at all the lonely people. Did you hold that thought? I hope so, because that terrible, inescapable loneliness is at the core of this book, From Here to Eternity. That unbridgeable loneliness. It's a killer. About the man who died in the sand trap, I wrote, "There is no happiness in this man's world. There is only misery, and it is profound, bottomless. Liquor can't touch it, although he certainly tries to drown it in booze, at one point making a tender art out of being drunk for 8 days. But the sadness is everything, everywhere, constant. I wondered if it is intrinsic to life at all times, or is it because they all know the war is coming, and the war will finish them off, so why not live recklessly and without hope?" This is a book about human interaction on the armature of the military, all events determined by the mix of personality and rank has its privileges, for sure. Rank is the gulf of caste. Rank is the sacred mark of caste. Officers are almost always foolish simply because they are officers. The higher the rank, the greater the fool. Because most of the rules and regulations are boilerplate chicken shit, it's catch-22 all over. But this book is not a satire. It's just absurd and teetering always on being dangerous. The stockade, way beyond dangerous, is One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, only they're not playing with nurses. They're locked up with sociopaths, sadistic, murderous thugs, the guards, who have every right to beat them because they are always in the wrong. Anyone who governs must be cruel. Relationships in the military are not human. They are arbitrary, based solely on rank. The book often wonders if human relationships are ever possible. Jones writes about feeling the absurdity, the oppressive impossibility of any human being trying to communicate with and understand another's mind in a life where nothing was ever what it seemed to be. And he writes that once, in a dream, somewhere, sometime, someplace, they had managed to touch another human soul and understand it. Real, true interaction is only a dream. Not even sex can bridge the gap. Another of the main plot lines is about 2 deeply cynical people who had given up all hope of finding anything substantial or wonderful in this life until they fall in love. A doomed love, of course. Doomed love is the most intense, the most real love. If by chance it was given a reprieve, a time to grow, it would only wither, founder, fade, and die. That or turn into hate. The man is strong, very strong, but filled with feeling and even tenderness, things he cannot express, not in the army. The woman is damaged goods, badly damaged goods, damaged by her husband, an officer, who gave her gonorrhea that led to a hysterectomy. They do their best to turn shabby adultery into love, not an easy thing to do. They are only partially successful. Jones conducts all of this as if playing a tremendous pipe organ at a fever pitch. What sustains a man in a terrible life like this? What keeps you alive in the hole? Can you do it? Drink? An unbreachable sense of ridiculous personal honor? Probity? I had to look that up. Probity. It's a quality of having strong moral principle, integrity, decency, qualities that do not play well in the army. Love is hard because when you love, you give up some of your freedom. And hell, freedom is why they're going to go fight and die in a war. One of them says that freedom is really free doom, meaning that there is only one true freedom, that you have power that you have. Your one unassailable right, and that is the right to kill yourself. No one can take that from you. And that made me think again about war and suicide being one and the same. Freedom, free doom. This is a book about doom. While I was reading From Here to Eternity, I was also reading a book about mysteries, mystery stories, crime fiction. And that reminded me about Einstein saying something about the most wonderful quality of the universe is that it is mysterious. Mystery to him was something wonderful. And in the Army, and especially the stockade, there is no mystery. None at all. They take all the mystery out. They beat it out of you. You do what you're told. And in this world of absolutely no mystery, there is no setting things to right. Everything is wrong. And if you try to improve anything, you're guaranteed to make it worse and worse and again worse, with no worst in sight save death. Is it any wonder that the men drink and fight and fuck? Is it any wonder that when the war does come, they cheer and rush off to die? War is hell, but the peace before it was nothing to crow about.